Right now, you are aware. You know you exist. You can feel yourself reading this. You can feel the weight of your own body, the rhythm of your own breathing, the fact that there is something it is like to be you. But there was a time, not long ago in the scale of your life, when all of that was simply not there. The brain was growing, the heart was beating, but nobody was home. And the science of exactly when you arrived is one of the most disturbing and beautiful things neuroscience has ever uncovered. You began as a single cell. No brain, no nervous system, no sensation, no awareness of any kind, just biology following instructions written into your DNA. For the first weeks of your existence, you had no more inner life than a seed. But something was coming. By week 5, the neural tube begins forming, the blueprint of your future brain, not yet capable of feeling anything, just architecture being assembled in the dark. By week 8, tiny electrical signals begin moving through this primitive structure. Your nervous system is wiring itself. Still no experience. Still nobody home. The first real threshold arrives between weeks 23 and 28. This is when the thalamocortical connections begin forming, the pathways that route sensation from the body to the cortex. Before this point, there is no road for pain or touch to travel to anything that could register it. After this point, that road exists for the first time. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio describes consciousness as something built in layers. First, basic sensation. Then, feeling. Then knowing you feel. Each layer requires specific biological structures arriving at different times. But feeling is not the same as self-awareness. A creature can feel pain without knowing it is a creature that feels pain. Self-awareness requires something more. It requires what neuroscientists call the default mode network, the neural architecture of the self. The system that activates when you think about your own existence. Developmental neuroscientist Mariah Thomason used fetal MRI to find when this network first appears. Her research found the earliest signs of default mode network connectivity between weeks 25 and 35 of gestation. A first draft of the self, written in the dark, before you were even born, and then you were born. And you still were not fully you. A newborn does not recognize itself in a mirror. It takes 15 to 24 months after birth to pass the mirror test. The moment a child sees a mark on its reflection and reaches to touch its own face. That gesture is the behavioral signature of genuine self-awareness. You were breathing, feeling, dreaming, and crying for over a year before you knew you were you. And you will never remember any of it. Not because nothing was happening, but because the memory systems required to store autobiographical experience were not yet developed enough to encode it. Your earliest memories are not hidden. They were never formed. You arrived before your story did, which leaves the question science has not yet answered. If the self builds itself gradually, layer by layer, week by week, then what were you before it arrived? Were you already you, waiting for the awareness to catch up? Or does the awareness itself create the you? Right now, you are aware, but once, not so long ago, the brain was growing, the heart was beating, and nobody was home. The moment the lights turned on is a moment you will never remember, and that forgetting may be the most human thing about you.